Okay, so I'm recording. And then I'll just download this for you so you can have future reference for this too. And I'll send you the link. What I was talking about is just better alignment here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would just make this image meet up with your 4 squares here. And I just made this a little bit bigger. And I said, just, take your paws and, it would be kind of neat to see them kind of wind around maybe from the welcome all the way down to this text, make it kind of windy like that would be kind of cool. So that the eye can travel from the welcome text on down here. And then I just talked about cleaning up your widow down here. So I just did a shift return right here to clean up that one word down below, which is a widow. As far as your icons go, I think these are really cute. And like I mentioned before, usually icons aren't really detailed. So keeping it as simple as possible is always good. So, I made some comments about that. Are you still with me, Nicole?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay.
I got kicked out again, but it restarts itself, so thank God
Okay.
about that. But
Well, I'm recording this, so
I
anything
don't.
that you miss, you'll hear it in the recording. Okay. So another thing to be mindful is just, making sure all of these images are the same size. And it looks like you have the box here, but the images aren't quite fitting in there. So what I would do is just double click in each of these squares and just space this out so it's a little bit bigger in that square that you provided. Double click and just pull that down. Oops, not that way. Just double click and pull that into your frame. Double click. See what I'm doing here? I'm double clicking and then I'm just pulling into that frame box. Oops, that one, the other one didn't take. Hold on. I think we have to do a clip here, so. And we have to arrange, edit, let's see. We have to do a clip. Where is the clip? Hold on. Oh, okay. This one, resized. Okay. Whoop, here we go. So when you place these in here, did you just do a file place? It looks like some of your corners are curved and the other ones aren't too. This one's curved here. Did you have a curve on this one? I think I lost
sorry,
you.
my internet is like, yeah. So I'm gonna join in my phone. So then, if anything, I'll be able to
Okay,
see it.
that's fine. Okay, so just make sure that these are, yep, I'll just keep going because, just keep talking here while you're doing that. Excuse me. Can
It's
you,
just like
you okay?
like it when I used it, it didn't exactly like work how it would in Illustrator. It just like it will like move the middle picture down a little bit or up, and then it looked like so not aligned.
Yeah.
When I
You're kind of breaking up a little bit. So are you on your phone now? Okay, I can't hear you. So
can you hear me now?
yep.
Okay, so for the alignment tool, when I tried to do it with the 3 pictures there, like the middle picture would not exactly move the way like it should, like it should like be aligned. So I don't know, like, I mean, it does look pretty aligned now, um, but then when I use the tool, um, it didn't really do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying you did this in Illustrator? Is that what you said?
Well, like you know how like you would use it in Illustrator, like it will work perfectly in there, but in XD it wouldn't exactly um like align properly.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me see here. Your alignment tools are up here. You know about that, correct? So
Yeah, and
when you're placing your images, are you placing them into shape?
um what I did was I imported them.
So you just did file place.
Um yeah, I well file and import.
Okay.
And then I tried to shape them with the box.
Okay. Because what I think we need to do here is just make a box like over top and then do like a mask so that they're all the same
Oh,
color. Or I'm sorry, all the same shape when we say color. Um, we want to do a no fill. And when you do that shape, you can shift select the shape and you should be able to mask. There we go. Did you see how I did that? So just so you can get a very uniform shape for all these, go and take your square tool, hold the shift key down and just draw a big square, just kind of fitting over top of your images right here. Okay. And then what you're going to
okay.
do is give it a no fill and no border. So it's like blank, but it's still there. You see that? Okay. And what I would do is probably copy and paste this so that you have a consistent square size. And let me see if I can actually copy. Let me make this so I can actually see it first because I can't see it right now. So copy and paste that, and it's going to paste it over top. So you want to make sure, like, when you do paste it, you know it's like right there. Copy, paste, drag it over here. Okay. Then what I would suggest is select all, hold the shift key down, select all three, do no fill, no border, and then do individually. So click on your actual square, so the whole square of the image, and hold down the shift key and select that square. It might be hard to see because you don't have a fill. Go up to object, mask with shape, and do the same thing
And
over.
then
What's that?
the picture will go in there.
Yep. Just kind of, and it'll be the same square as long as you copied and pasted the same size. And now you can align these. So holding the shift key down, go up to your alignment and you can align it, you know, so that they're equally spaced out and also aligning on the top and the bottom. And I'm recording this. So if I'm going too fast or you kind of say, how does she do this? I'll send you the link so you're not, lost because we're breaking up here and I don't want to lose anything in between. The next,
Yeah. Um,
go ahead.
I think like for the outcome, because I did go to the tutor center,
Hmm.
and they she was very like astounded of like I came in there with a purpose, and the website has a purpose and everything like that. She was like very positive about it. So I'm like, yay.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, you did a great job on this. It's just some tweaking, and I'm just giving you that tweaking so that you can make it even better. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. Okay, so the next thing I would do is align your copy with this. I would make this a little thin, like less wide, as wide as this image here. I would pull this in. Same thing with this. Align it to the image, pull it in so it's aligned both from left and right. And those guides will help you. Those intuitive blue line guides will help you see when you're aligned when you pull this in, and then all the way up here. See how much cleaner and neater that looks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did good. You might have more words here. Oh, there we go. Just make sure we don't have any more words. There we go. Looks like we have periods there. Okay, so that looks good. This page looks good once you just do that. Same thing for this, you know, do your squares. Do a square over each one like I showed you. Hold the shift key down so it's a proportionate square. It means it's equal on all sides. Copy and paste it, bring it over here, kind of like I showed you. Oops. You'll become a pro at this because you're going to be doing it so much here. Give it a no fill, no border for all these. Do a shift or shift select if you want to do all of them together. And then click on your first image and then shift select the square you made. Go up to object. Oops. You have to select it. Make sure you select it in the proper way here. It's not letting me. Oh, it's locked. Why are these locked? Okay, let's unlock it here. I just double clicked on it so we can unlock it. That's why it wasn't doing it. Okay, and you can move the shape. If you double click in here, you can move this image around. So say if you wanted more of her face in there, double click and then use your arrow tools on your keyboard to just double click on that lock to unlock it, to move it around. You know, if I'm cropping this too much where it looks odd, like, you know, maybe you wanted more of that dog face in there, double click on it and then use your left and right arrows depending on where you want to go there, and then click off. So you have an option to kind of slide it around there. All right, let me unlock these images and do a shift select. Mask with shape, same thing here. And this is just cleaning it up so that all your images are the same. This makes it consistent, just makes it look more consistent. It unifies things, and also it helps with alignment. Pull this over, you can see more of the cat there. And then you want to select all the images, holding down the shift key and doing your alignment again. Looks good. And then you want to do the text, just like I showed you before. What I would do is just kind of pull these in so that they align with the beginning of your box to the end. Just make sure there's no copy down below here. Extra copy. There's a widow in that one I'll have to fix. A widow just means one word on the very end of the sentence in a copy box. You have a widow right there, and I'll fix that. Yeah, so just small tweaks here. There's another widow. We'll take care of that. I would just, let me zoom in here and I'll show you how I would fix those widows. So here, I would put my cursor right before life and do a shift return. And I would do the same thing before stays. And what that does is it smooths out your rag so it's not so odd looking there. Okay, so that one's that one. And then if you get a, which you probably will once you redo this, go ahead and do a shift return right here. You'll probably get a widow down here. And there you go. Another thing is you can probably, it looks like you have different plans written here. What if you just made, you know, the actual plan or the name of it bold, you know, so it stands out just a little bit for each one of these. Of course, that gives me a widow down there. So probably for this case, I would probably make these all bold just to try the different emphasis, and maybe start your line, do a shift return there. So you start your line on the second, oops, I thought there was extra copy here. I think yours needs to be a period there. But, you know, the actual sentence starts on the second line. And then you can keep that consistent on all of these, just small details. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, just kind of trying to get my text to one here. It's not letting me. Just little small things here. Your shift return. And then one more. So, it just makes it look cleaner, it's easier to follow, and it's consistent. So it's just, that's what helps with readability with anything that you're working on. When everything isn't consistent is when it becomes harder to read. So it's our job as a designer to kind of make it easier to read and easier to follow. Okay, so that looks good. So that's a small change on that one, just alignment issues and contact us. This looks good. I would probably, just being super, super, super picky, because we have to be as designers. Everything looks great here. Is just making this box, these two boxes the same size. So I would probably make this just a little bigger here. And you might not even need this black box. You might just go as simple as this and just, shift select all of these to center. Oops, not like that. Not like that. Sorry. Okay, and then I would probably center in here. So just use your center paragraph. You probably don't even need phone. It's obvious it's a phone number. So just take that copy out completely. Just keep it really simple and then align your elements. I would probably group these two together if you can. Group before you go and center. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For anything else, I mean, uh, do you like the little box that I did, or
The little box that you did for where?
yeah, for well,
For here?
I see that you yeah the map.
Okay, say that again. You're kind of breaking up. I can't hear you.
It kicked me out again. um,
Yeah, what were you saying?
but the map. Are you okay with like the size and everything, or should I be bigger?
No, I think that works. I think that's one of the things that when you click on it, it could get bigger type of a thing where you don't have to show it so massive. You know what I mean? So it could be a more of an interactive.
Okay.
You don't have to make it interactive, but it's kind of known that it could be interactive in that way. Yeah, so the other thing I would maybe try is, maybe this gets a little bit bigger. And it lines up here. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this edge here, but that might not be such a big deal. Align that. All right. Any questions about the website changes? So just small little tweaks. Don't forget, you can add drop shadows to this. Do kind of a little, some different effects on these if you wanted to. I think you had a rounded corner on yours too initially, but you could do that kind of stuff that, Lisa was showing in her examples. All right, so let's skip forward here. I don't know if I lost you again. Log
Yeah,
in.
I'm back.
Okay. This looks good. The login looks good. You got, just make sure and this is just real small changes here. Shift select all of these, make sure they're all aligned. It looks like they're a little off. There we go. Maybe pull the logo down just a little bit on all these. So it's centered in there. It looks kind of like it's a little, oh, there we go. Let me zoom in, it's like hard to see. Sorry, I had to kick my dog out of here. He was getting into my kids' toys. All right. Let me zoom in here a little bit.
I bought my dog a baby toy instead of a dog toy, and she absolutely loves it, and it was so much cheaper. I don't know like if that's great advice for you, but
Wait, say that again.
I
I
went and
caught part of that. Sorry.
I I bought my dog a baby toy instead of
Oh,
a dog toy.
okay.
He absolutely loved it. Cheaper
What kind of dog
than
do
a
you
dog
have?
toy. I have a lab.
Aw. Yeah, my dog would destroy any type of toy. That's kind of funny though. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead. Okay, I think I like lost you again. Okay, so I would say for this, sorry, I want to move forward here. Just go ahead and center these items here, and I'm trying to zoom in and try and select all of these for some reason. If this is grouped, I have to group these two. There we go. Center this on your screen because it's a little off. You can even pull it down just a little bit. I would probably say for this, for these two things, I would probably pull this in a little bit because you know you have this much green space. Why not have it on this side? Have equal space. So just kind of equaling things out here. I'm going to pull this over. There we go. Making sure that this is centered. That looks good. You could probably even center this copy if you want. Better in there, more centered. You may even just want to kind of pull these over all the way to the right and center these too. You know, it's completely up to you, but it might look a little bit more balanced in that way instead of having just like a little tab. But I'll leave that up to you. You'll have to do everything up here the same because it's, you know, it's all about consistency, keeping that the same. I think this has a border on it. Take the border. This is grouped. Group. I don't know if you had the border on the other ones. Just take that border off. I don't think it's needed. Keep it clean looking. Let me see if you had a border on these two. Nope, you didn't have a border on that. You do have one on that. So take that off on that one. Keep it simple. And then just make sure that these are, it's hard to select this when it's so small. These are grouped probably. Jeez, is this group too? Must be ungroup. There we go. And just make sure that these are aligned. Okay. So you can see how I kind of equaled the space out there, kept everything spaced out. For this one, I get the fact that you're trying to keep it consistent because you have this screen space here for this screen, but it may not really work as well on this screen as you did here because you really want to see all of these as a whole and not really split it up in an awkward way where you're having the square kind of go across and separate in between your body copy. So I would suggest either going and taking out, unlock here, taking out one or the other. So either, let me see if I can grab this. So either make this all blue, and you can even leave just like a little band here if you want at the bottom. That looks kind of good. Or you can come up here and make it all green in the background, just leave this little band of blue. Either way, it's going to make it easier to read. Okay. I would pull this down just a little bit so it's closer to all of your information. And then again, I would make sure that everything is aligning. See how these two pictures aren't quite aligning? So you might have to go in, crop your images again, making sure that they align because they're all a different shape as well. So that's like, you know, this shape is not quite the same shape as that one. It's very close, but it's not quite. So I would go ahead and take your square tool, do what I showed you before. It might actually work better here because they're smaller. The actual, the screen size is smaller. You know, so it might work where you're gaining more space here and here. But go ahead and do that with all of these and then align your copy. You could make this copy smaller too. You know, you have it in 14. I would probably even go down to 11 here. Doesn't have to be so big, okay? It could be a little different when you're doing this. I would then do the same thing over here. I would make the square, and I forgot to copy and paste, so I'm just going to put this over top of this one. You'll be really good at masking when you're all done with this. But I think you'll understand once you do all of this, the reason you know, these changes are being made just makes it look more clean and neat. And just make sure that these two align. And then do the same thing here. And I would, you know, align, you could even make these smaller. This is at 20. Try like 16. And that way it kind of fits a little bit better up here. You know, it's still bold. It still looks like a subhead. And then you could bring up everything because you want this to all read together too. Just a little closer. All right, so you'll do the same thing here. Just make those changes. Sixteen. Make your square changes. Change your body copy. I think we did it 11, from 14 to 11. And then, oops, we don't want to do that. Let's do a square. I forgot to copy and paste that. We'll just pull this down here. Copy paste. We have it over here. Looks like you have a very big copy box here for some reason. Let's pull. Oh, that's all connected. And great. What's going on here? Something was grouped, which was kind of odd. Okay, so I just ungrouped it and it went out of the way there. Oh, I think I lost you. All right, well, I'm going to keep on going because I think that this will help you because we can't talk like normal because you're getting kicked out and I can't understand what you're saying. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to send you this link and hopefully you can kind of get started to make these changes. Not sure what's going on. Okay, just make sure these are all aligned. Everything's spaced out the same. My dog's getting in trouble here. All right, and then all the text is aligned. So you're gonna make sure that these align on the same baseline. You can adjust your other things as well. And you can make these words bold just like you did before. Treat it the same way. Okay. This looks aligned. I probably pull this down a little bit, just like you did with services. And then pull kitten down closer to the image and center it. There we go. There we go, it's centered now. You can center these again using your align tool for some, oh, this is because it's not centered. Paragraph style center, there we go. Just make sure that's centered with the picture. You could bring this down a little bit more. And I would make this copy smaller. You're at 19, try like 14. I would do centered and then pull that in so you don't have, you know, margin space issues here. Just pull that in. So you have some margin space on the left and the right. Then what I would do is, again, we have just some balance issues here with our colors. I'm trying to if I can grab that little notchy thing. I think this is a group, maybe. No, this is your green. Oh, okay. So your green can be pulled down a little bit. And where's my, oh, this is locked. That's why it's not. Let me pull this down a little bit. Oh, I think that's probably you trying to text me or email me there. I got completely kicked out. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, we'll just keep going here. Like I said, I would probably make these two the same size as well, like the two images here, just so it's consistent. You can do your whole, what was I going to say, cropping, masking technique as well. Okay. Just kind of balancing everything a little bit. Oh, pull your logo down a little bit as well too, so that it's not so high up there. All right, so those are the changes I would make for that so that it looks more, polished. And your actual tablet, just alignment issues going on here, just slightly. You can, also adjust. I would, let's see, we can make this bigger here. There's a box over top of that box. I would make this bigger so that it kind of bleeds off. Okay, and then I would align your copy with that. Pull this down a little bit, give more space in between here. Align this with your image. Pull this in a little bit for margin space. I think you have more copy down here. Let me see where you're at. 14. Try like 11 here to pull that up just a little bit. You could also add in your little paw prints in front of these too, as like little bullet points, just like a suggestion. This can be bigger. I would leave this, you could even go as far as maybe this is 12 being 14 here, just because it's treated a little differently as far as the type is concerned. With this information, you're setting up your hierarchy. But I would either center with this, give it a little bit more margin space, center it within your green box. So you have space here and here is equals what I'm talking about. Then I would pull this in to align with this, okay? This, I would say fix just your returns here. I just clicked on that and something went weird there, so I'll fix it. And you could even make this more bold or maybe just slightly bigger since it is intro copy here. Maybe not bold, just bigger. So you're setting up a hierarchy. So you have this copy and then it takes you down to this copy and then over here. And then we just center everything. So you can either probably, you could even just align it like this. That's kind of nice. And like I said, you could put little doggy prints in front of each of these and make each of these words bold like you did on your other sections. Oh, it is bold. Then I would probably make this regular so it looks more bold. Just the copy so that it makes it those keys, I would say subheads, but you know what I mean, those keywords look even more emphasized. So I'm just making these all regular. Okay, so that looks good. You can see kind of how that cleaned up that space a little bit. Like I said, you could put your paw prints. Oops. I don't know if you can get one just showing one each and making them smaller so that you could put just one each in front of these would be kind of cool instead of the whole thing. Just a suggestion if you could do that. This one, I don't know if you really need your, let's see, your icons there. You might want to put a period here too. Oh, you have a period. For some reason you had text that's not showing here. There we go. It's really weird. Okay. You know, maybe these little guys come up here where they reverse out in white or something, you know, become smaller. I'm not quite sure if they're working up here with the white square. Um, I would get rid of this text. You don't really need it since you have facts written here. Pull this down a little bit since it's separate. Just make sure whatever copy you have here, it's treated the same way and is the same size. This is 22. Same thing with your subhead as far as positioning and all that good stuff. So this should be 22 because we changed that, remember? 22, from 20 to 22. If this is a town, you might want to capitalize Hazelton and then put a comma there, just FYI, and then a period here. I'm just cleaning some stuff up. All right, so I would pull this down and pull these down a little bit and align them. I would probably take the paw prints out here just because you have questions and answers. Maybe you don't even have to show the answers. Maybe it's just a known fact that if you clicked, you know, maybe you could have a little bar here too, like a search bar for questions that might not be shown here. So maybe just adding in a bar, I would get rid of all of that other stuff. And then just put like a bar in here that people can type in a question, and then adding in type. And let me make sure my type is black. Oops. It's kind of odd how they have this. All right, so you can say, what is your question? And this could be something where they can actually click into and, you know, the answer pops up maybe on this side. And then maybe have like another subhead here where you have frequently spell this right. There we go. And I'm going to line left. And that's where you can kind of have this like a list of questions. And I think the answer could be like another page it just flips to. So you don't necessarily have to show the answer side. You know, that could just be something that is known to be, could flip it up to another page. Okay, then I would just, you know, maybe move these over to the right so they become more of a design quality on this page, and it evens it out a little bit. All right, so that is probably what I would say for these two. It kind of makes it look more together. You might even want to add these paw prints over here, just to, for, you know, and pull this in a little bit. Oops. Like that, so that you can add some unification there and consistency. Now you might need to adjust this in order to see all the copy, but you get what you kind of get where I'm going there. But everything else looks great. Just kind of, you know, tighten it up a little bit. And I think you're on the right track. You did a great job with your changes so far. So pull this down a little bit. I'm very positive in you know, taking this feedback from me and going forward with it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'm going to send you the link so that you have this. You can refer back to this, since we didn't have a really good connection speaking today, unfortunately, and that happens. But I do appreciate you coming in and being patient with my schedule as well. It was kind of hard. You know, I had technical issues too. We couldn't meet up the first time. So, you know, we'll make it work. All right. You have a wonderful weekend, and let me know if you have any questions going forward, Nicole. Good job.